about this earlier, but I just wanted to make sure that was our 1v1.
Venomancer just does Venomancer things and
Yeah.
scales you and right-clicks you, and kind of neutralizes your win run.
Mm-hmm.
10
I
seconds
think
remaining.
no one should still be able to farm okay, but every Veno in the world just does the same thing, right?
Yeah.
They spam out wards, they right-click you a bunch. Pretty miserable to play against. And in this time,
Prepare
Mag is going to be
for
able to get the ward down. But
Or
will they spot him in time?
Yeah. You've got the Winter Wyvern coming over. If he sees Mag on the way back, he'll probably know it's going to be one of these wards placed on the side, usually outside of range of this counter ward. Oh, Mag actually goes for this ward that blocks it out instead, also out of the range of this usual counter ward. And he places it down. Fly does see, or should see. Yeah, he sees it now.
Yeah, this is the new meta. Is before it would just be the offlaner with TP, and the support wouldn't, but now every support TPs tries to scout out as soon as possible, just to see where it is, because you don't want that ward blocked if possible. They might even know about the secondary ward, which would be huge. If they can just get rid of both the vision immediately off the bat, I think Fly even goes for it right now. Like, just go check for it. Worst comes to worst, you miss the sentry. In a best case scenario though, you just dominate. No, I think he might just place it mid then.
See, maybe he's gonna hold on to it because they'll see the darks here, and him no longer having that ward should tip him off.
I saw like 3 pings though in that area from OG, so I think they had some reasonable suspicions.
Hey,
but...
what do you think about No-Tail's build? Is this normal for Venomancers? The bottle rush?
I think when you're against a hero like this Wind Ranger, it's fine.
Okay.
You don't want to trade very many hits with her anyways.
Yeah.
Like getting something like the Wraith Band doesn't really change things for you too much. You can just go for real quick bottle.
Yeah, and because of the Bounty Rune being taken out of the bottom lane by No-Tail, this actually leaves no one out in the cold. No Bounty Rune for him. It was grabbed by Max Darks here at top lane. Forced into it by the potential aggression of the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, it was really well read by OG. Vega knows that they know that Vega doesn't want to fight them in the early phases. Like, all No-Tail has to do is get 1 level of Gale, Fly gets Arctic Bird, and suddenly somebody's slowed for 80%.
Now this middle lane the bottom lane I think is going to be the critical one for Vega Squadron. It really got to make sure that the Spirit Breaker and Phoenix do not do well and put pressure on the Spectre. But it's not just about the success of the laning phase oftentimes for a Spectre, right? We see a lot of times when you do have a Spectre in your team, it's very necessary to get the Spectre kills when she picks up level 6, which means Vega Squadron are going to need to find those openings via the Night Stalker and Wind Ranger.
Oh, no one got real close to that, but isn't going to be able to get the kill. No-Tail's going to chase him out a little bit, but some pretty solid harass, and unfortunately for no one, I'm just going to give him some credit here. If you don't get the Bounty Rune as the enemy mid-hero, it means so much. You can't trade hits effectively anymore. They're going to be up a full regen over you in half a level. When it's just a bare bones 1v1 matchup, that's rough.
Yeah, and this 2-minute rune may be equally important as no one. He's going to be ganked up just before that does get off the wind run in time to slow down some of the damage coming out from OG. But they're very likely to establish a rune for No-Tail to refill that bottle, and that's going to be key in keeping up his regen advantage over no one.
Yeah, even if you're just forcing him to wind run, that's times that he's not using the power shot or anything like that.
Nice steal by Moon. Charges onto Solo, bumps him back at the perfect time to steal the Invis rune away from him. Probably won't mean much, but at least to make sure that Solo can't do anything with it.
You've got Darks here who's getting a decent amount of levels right now in this area. I think I actually saw their Bane at level 2. Their Night Stalker at level 2. Levels are pretty evened out.
Yeah, being forced into this bottom lane, like Solo has to kind of help babysit Pasha, means that he's very likely going to have an ineffective nighttime level 1. If
It's
he's
okay
underleveled.
Look at no one's game right now. He's got 14 CS, but a lot of it has been wasted on regen. He's actually dominating mid right now, but I'd imagine a lot of those are the wards. I think they count for your last hits, right?
Yeah, they do. And wards are really easy to kill, especially with a hero like Wind Ranger, who has good attack range and animation.
But No-Tail doesn't have that much CS.
Yeah.
It's not even very high independent.
Oh, they're going to come in from behind this time around, and that's going to slow down No One significantly. Good body blocks to No One. He can't do anything, so he's going to turn around and try and go for the kill on No Tail, but it's just not enough. The last right click is in there, as he is able to bottle up before it hits, and No Tail will survive first blood, going to the Spirit Breaker.
Moon getting the block repeatedly, but Max!
Oh, wow!
That is a solo kill as an off-lane Darkseer against a safe-lane Gyrocopter. And this is the second time now that we've seen Miracle just solo die.
Yeah, Miracle, like, he had a great recovery in game number 1, but it started off real bad, losing that mid lane to No One significantly. Now here's where the laning advantage really comes to fore for No Tails. He's going to be able to control his Plague Wards for the last hitting. Solo is going to be chased down here, but it's only level 3, so he really can't threaten the Night Stalker too much. Now it's going to be Solo's time to potentially rain. Maybe they can force Crit to dive. Sure enough. There she blows.
That was so rough, though. Losing that matchup like that. That determines more than you want, because it means that the Darkseer, he's already at 22 CS. He doesn't necessarily just have to stay in this lane anymore. He can just kind of choose to play the waiting game. Just chill out a little bit.
Yeah, because you don't have a core on the side of Vega Squadron that takes stacks. It's actually possible for the Darkseer to go jungle, right? And they could put the Night Stalker in the offlane or something like that if they want to be really efficient.
Yeah, Max,
No Tail.
Max actually had an unbelievable game. He's #1 in net worth.
No Tail's going to die in the middle lane. Good pick up by Solo, rotating in at the right time. Big Daddy No Tail just sticks around in that middle lane, I think, for too long at low HP, especially during nighttime.
Yeah, maybe trying to min-max a little bit harder than he should, but really good rotation by the Night Stalker, something that we expected to see. And what this really leads me to, Cap, is that the Spectre is getting a lot more free farm than you're used to seeing, because this is a hero that normally gets contested quite heavily.
Yeah.
But because of how much space his team's been able to make, like with Mag being able to get the solo kill, that attempt in mid too, Vega's been doing a really good job of keeping up all over the map. And the Venomancer, who had so much help, is now behind the Wind Ranger in net worth. And you're seeing a similar situation where the Gyrocopter is just 1 gold ahead, 1 GPM ahead of the Darkseer right now.
Do you think that that means OG need to pull a C-Deck and rotate the Gyrocopter and play aggressively with him into that bottom lane to try and shut down the Spectre?
Yeah, potentially at some point, but in this mid lane, once again...
Pick-off. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, Pasha is actually being gone on, but OG big time dies, and now they're going to be caught in the process. Moon does not have the mana to be able to charge out, so it looks like he's the guaranteed kill here for Vega Squadron. 4-1 now to their favor.
Yeah, they've done such a good job of controlling up the map this time around. In the first one, they didn't have the heroes that could contest in the laning phase, but this game they definitely do, and Solo's just gone on a rampage right now. 1-0-2, he's completely won the mid lane back for No One, and most importantly, this Mag Darkseer, like you said, he just continues to farm out the jungle. He's getting way ahead of the enemy offlaners. Like, you notice the Spirit Breaker doesn't really come close in net worth, nor does the Phoenix. They're kind of splitting out even, and the Bane is suffering a little bit, but his cores are doing so well that I don't really think he has a lot of room to complain.
I kept saying it in my cast with OD, Vega Squadron versus Vici. You really got to respect the solo Night Stalker. I think they've effectively replaced the Lina solo that they used to run in 6.84. The same kind of strength we're seeing him on the Night Stalker, but now he's going to be caught. The slow is going to start running out until the Arctic Burn covers that. Sleep goes down. Solo bought a little time here. The Solo's, he's actually going to turn on a fly with the help of the Spectre. They can definitely get this kill. Solo goes ahead, bounces up. No Tail continues to try and chase down Fly. The Dagger's going to be able to help catch him up. Looks like a Night Stalker probably will die, but he's going to try and set up another kill for Pasha onto No Tail, but now Crit's going to come in. The power shot comes in, actually takes out the Phoenix. Pasha, he picks up that kill of the dispersion. No Tail healing up the full, really needs this kill for Pasha, but he needs to go. He's going to start making his way until Gyrocopter catches him with the ultimate. Miracle makes sure that Pasha stays down, but he picked up 2 kills in the process. Not a bad first rotation for our carry Spectre.
Yeah, and the Spectre continues to make his own space. Unfortunately, that kind of dive you almost never want to do against the Venomancer of all heroes unless you're TP prepared. The Spirit Breaker was charging in, so probably not the best time to respond.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And yet, the Phoenix is going to try to use this time to catch up a little bit. Solo, like we talked about, has done such a good job of space creating during this first nighttime, and this is really what's enabled their Spectre to kind of get a little bit ahead. And what I mean by ahead is, if you look at the net worth, he's third, but that's fantastic for a hero like Spectre.
Right.
Radiant's middle
A
tower
hero
is
that
under
isn't
attack.
particularly good at ensuring farm in his lane, pretty passive, is entirely reliant on supports, and can't really do any extra jungling or something to stay ahead. Crit has picked up an Invis rune and is sitting here in the bottom lane. There is a charge, but I doubt they're really going to be able to do much. Not without level 6 on Crit. So just a spot of damage. We do also have to remind, Mag has been free farming away at this top lane, is going to have a rather fast mech. Looks like it's going to be about 10 minutes, 11 minutes or so.
That's still really fast considering he was against, I guess he was solo against the gyrocopter. What means more to me is just the fact that he was able to solo kill him.
Oh, Moon! Here comes the shackle shot, the power shot. They're going to give yet another kill to Pasha. 3-1 now for just our Spectre. He's got 2,200 gold. This is going to be a relic coming in short time, and it feels like this is the point in time where OG has to be aggressive and try and use the gyrocopter to shut down this Spectre, because it's daytime, because you know she's getting relatively close to the relic. I don't think they can wait too much longer.
No, I don't think so either. And the scary thing about Vega's lineup is that they hit this insane power curve. Once you get the Radiance, look at what it's going to do against OG's lineup, right? It's going to scout out for you. It's going to make it hard for heroes like the Gyrocopter, who, if you just hover over, he's only got 891 HP. And you're going to force out really ineffective Phoenix Eggs as well.
Spectre ultimate going out. Looks like they're going to fight the bottom lane. Trying to slow down. Moon does have a charge up in 1 more second. Should be able to get out of here perfectly scot-free until no one actually, the charge right into the arrow from the power shot.
Can't pick that one.
At the top lane, No Tail is going to find his bounty rune stolen away by Siona Slayer.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No Tail has caught up, credit to him. He's just been kind of focusing in on this area, and despite the amount of kills that the Wind Ranger's been getting, here and there, he isn't quite there when it comes to CS, because a lot of these are just built up in wards, so they're a tad inflated. But if you're OG, you're semi-worried. The shackle on mid, it does land, and I think he's gonna get the solo kill.
That is a beautiful kill. Not only that solo kill, but he also probably pick up some of the wards, created himself more time, and he's still got a regen. So be right back up to full. He's going to close it. Oh, on top lane, big charge, Mag, but there is a TP in. Gyrocopter's going to respond with the ultimate, so he'll make sure to run out of that one. Sleep on a Miracle, trying to slow him down with a shackle shot. No one said things done. Now they're going to sleep on a Fly, who tried to wake up the Gyrocopter only to his own doom. And now Moon's going to be chased away. Looks like the charge out for him, but Fly, he's going to be left for dead.
Such a good setup by Vega. They understand that they just have to bait him deeper and deeper, and although it is a Gyrocopter, you're not that strong, buddy. As they're going to go down, and most importantly, this is going to create more room for Pasha, who actually opts to completely skip the relic.
What? He completes treads and gets a Morbid Mask.
Okay, I think he thought that he was going to get contested, but this is about the time he would have the relic, and his team was doing such a good time of creating space for him. Like, normally I don't advocate for that build, but just because of how well they were able to come out, I actually feel like this would have been one of the few scenarios where rushing for that relic wouldn't have been that greedy.
I want to talk about no one's build. Instead of going the Ags and Crystallis or Ags Blink Dagger that we oftentimes see, instead he's going to go for the Maelstrom build. Blitz, you know, you're a mid player. What do you see the differences in build? Why a Maelstrom?
It helps you farm a lot faster and push out lanes.
Okay.
You just get like one lightning proc, you power shot, you don't have to be so mana reliant, and
under attack.
when heroes don't go for that MK or that BKB early on, it's quite punishing. Like, you don't need damage that the Aghanims provides you at this phase of the game quite yet.
Oh, the Beast Grab's going to interrupt that one. Moon's not going to be able to get off the ultimate. He just gets bursted down. Fly couldn't do anything to stop that one. Now the Spectre, he's going to come in, miss dagger straight on through. That would have been a great dagger to slow down No Tail's retreat. But maybe they shouldn't really fight anyway. They'd be going into a Venomancer. Oh, they popped the smoke. It looks like they really want to keep on going here. But No Tail, he's ready with the response. He knows he can win this 4 versus 5. He gets off a good ultimate, catches 2. Meanwhile, in the background, Solo's trying to go in, trying to slow himself to heroes.
Mag from behind!
He's fighting for Gyrocopter. Oh, man, Mag gets off a beautiful wall vacuum. They're going to be able to grab Miracle, bring him back into his doom as they chase him down with the Ion Shell. That's 3 down for the Night Stalker. A great fight as Vega Squadron knew that they could just keep on going. Venomancer are not They win the fight 15-4. Vega Squadron are just taking control of game 2 so dramatically.
And they set that pincer up so well, and the thing is, Cap, it looked really exciting and promising for OG, but where's their damage sources from? You look at the Winter Wyvern, he's only level 5. That Venomancer ult, level 1. That Gale, level 1. So the actual damage isn't that high. Like, Vega can outlast that. And I believe Mag has the mech too, so when he swings in from the bottom, right around, he nullifies most of that damage. It sounds exciting at first. Like, you think, oh, this is a really good opportunity. Yeah, maybe if Fly was level 6, that could be a pretty hefty opportunity for them. But now, things really turn around. Pasha's already up to 1,700 gold once again.
And another big play was Solo's sacrificial play to stop the Phoenix ult. He ran into the death of Rocket Barrage against Gyrocopter, and he was like, that's fine, because he got the silence onto Phoenix that allowed them to kill him before the Supernova.
This is how strong Solo is. Just one Void and he's able to send Miracle packing. Like, Miracle wants nothing to do with this at this point. With just 600 HP to his name, they don't have these ancient stacks well prepared. They've got one stack up, but that's not really enough to talk about. And no one. Does he have a TP? Can he immediately get this kill and get out? This is going to be quite risky.
Yeah,
Is anybody here?
He knows he can get the kill on No Tail. The question is whether or not he can get out. I think he knows he's playing the sacrificial 1-for-1 trade up. It's going to get the kill and it's going to create space, but he's definitely not getting out alive.
Don't think that was worth it. You just fed Miracle 800 gold, and that's why I asked. I was like, if you have a TP, yes, get that kill immediately. Just win run TP out, hope for the best. But in a situation like that, you're trading a lot of levels in XP.
Against a Spirit Breaker, you'll never get out of that scenario.
Yeah, that's why you need the TP. Then you hope that he's across the map. But 30 seconds left, I don't know. Yes, it was a free kill, but was it worth it?
It's a small amount of space for Pasha, who is going to start going for the Relic. Looks like he realizes how much space he's actually getting from his team.
His team has just done such a good job, and
yeah.
I really want to highlight the exemplary support play from both Sioma the Slayer and Solo. Solo especially has been a beast. And this Darkseer too, Mag has been no slouch. The wraparound from bottom, beautiful. And the solo kill that he was able to pick up on Miracle too, game changer.
If Sioma had actually popped this smoke, they will pop it now. They'll see all these heroes. The Spectral ultimate goes out, hit the controlling crit. They will be able to get off the egg most likely. Let's go back and whoa! That's 4-5! Oh my god, he gets off the Supernova! But OG just gets destroyed! They take out the egg. Miracle's gonna be all that's left here, and he's just gonna be chased down by Vega Squadron. Poison or no, Moon, I don't think there's enough left in the tank for you to actually take this one. He's gonna go for Mag, gets off the ultimate to finish him off, and they actually got the Bane off of the poison. But now he's just gonna be chased down by no one, no shackle shot, but a Night Stalker Void will stop him from TPing out, and that's a wipe. Vega Squadron 21-7 now, as it just seems like there is no stopping the Vega Squadron freight train.
I mean, this is the Vega Squadron that I know. In the first game, I see that Luna, I think to myself, that really doesn't fit their playstyle. But then I see the Spectre, it forces OG into these maneuvers that they don't necessarily want to make, but they feel like they have to. I see Mag playing his signature Darkseer. You've got Solo playing that Night Stalker, where he's just completely ruined their mid game. And this Bane as well. Like, they've just done such a good job of controlling up the map and playing 4v5 essentially. Like, Pasha is not contributing that much to these engagements. It's just how much they've been able to do with these 4 heroes over and over again. And this gank timing, he's not going to see this coming. Miracle is just baiting out, but
he thinks, I've got the Spirit Breaker here, but surprise, Vega Squadron are going to come in with 2 other heroes, and actually going to be Miracle who dies first.
Moon's going to come in to die now too.
For Solo, but the sleep goes down. It looks like he's not going to be able to get enough unless a bash, another right click. Oh, can't even get the 1-for-1 trade up. So 2 hero kills go in the wake of Vega Squadron. BKB soon for no one. They're gonna have the Blink Dagger coming in soon for Darkseer, and then we have to talk about the Spectre. I mean, we were talking about the Relic so long ago, but Pasha is finally gonna be picking it up soon.
I think I saw a game once where Secret were behind like 18k gold. I actually think it was a game that you and I casted against Alliance, I believe, in WCA, where they looked fairly dominant Alliance, but then as soon as the Spec gets the Radiance, the game completely turns around. Well, what happens when you're this far ahead and he's about to get the
Dyer's
Radiance?
top tower.
What happens in that part?
Fly, you've got to get off this ultimate to stop Pasha. They throw down the Supernova as well, knowing it's very likely. Well, Pasha's still going to be able to get out of the range, so there's no stun there. But there is the charge. The ultimate is going to come out from the Spirit Breaker as well. But Siama's Laird's ready to go with the response. Sun Rain going out, but it means immediately stopping Moon. No chance for an ultimate there. And now they're just going to hold him to the mercy of Moon, who pops out that focus fire and will eliminate that space cow. Looks like, yeah, he's not getting out. Mag steps in front, Siam Slayer with a slight sleep, and there it is. Once again, the turnaround. They thought they could potentially shut down the Spectre before that Relic, but Vega too quick on the TPs.
That would have been such a sick timing too, because you notice that Pasha just has enough money for his Sacred Relic, and now he's going to buy it. They could have delayed that timing by a full 4 or 5 minutes, but with this alive, look at Solo again, creating space. No Tail's definitely going to die. Pasha doesn't have the TP, but OG, they don't have their Spirit Breaker. They can't really get a rebuttal for this, and they're just going to walk away. Pasha's already at 900 gold now.
And I love this item choice by Solo as well, going for the Glimmer Cape, which helps keep Pasha alive, actually. Pasha might have died there if it wasn't for the Glimmer Cape stopping some of that poison damage.
Almost got the Radiance now completed. No one's got his BKB, and so he's going to be a complete tank. And whatever start that No Tail had over him is completely washed away in the last 10 minutes as he leads in that worth charts. It's not even very close. They've done such a good job of containing Miracle too, and this is a player that's incredibly explosive, but the individual performances from Vega have been outstanding. Like Mag being able to get the solo kill again, I can't even mention that enough. And whatever Solo's done this entire game, going around the map, ganking non-stop, creating pressure around the map, they just haven't been able to let up, and Moon's going to go for this charge, but I assume they have to let this break. And OG are going to go for another smoke. They're going to rely on the team fight ability of both the Phoenix and the Winner's Curse, but you have to wonder how many more attempts you get at this.
Vlad's about to be complete for Solo. He's just getting so many good team fight items that just add more sustain for the rest of his team. With Pasha just 400 gold away, OG are desperate to make sure this Radiance doesn't happen before the 25-minute marker. They're going to come in with the 4-man smoke. Pasha, does he have a way out of here? He doesn't have the ultimate, so it doesn't look like there's going to be escape. They throw everything they have to make sure the Spectre goes down, and there won't really be a response from Vega unless no one wants to initiate. I just don't see that being a good idea, though. Be a bit too staggered of a response from Vega.
No, I think you let this one go. It's your Spectre who's getting close to his Radiance anyways. If he was just at the Relic phase, I feel like that gank would mean a lot more. But because he's only a 900 away anyways, Vega probably aren't too concerned because they know once that item hits, a lot of this game changes. Like if you're looking at the side of OG, does anybody have a Glimmer Cape or anything? Not quite yet. The two supports are going to get incredibly stunted too once this comes out, and Mag is hanging around this mid lane. Not really going to do too much with this.
He's scouting things out for the Night Stalkers about to come in. They're going to catch Crit. Nice vacuum set up to make sure Solo can get the nuke and the silence to get the kill on Crit. Did have the Supernova at the last half second maybe with the silence baiting, but there's no way that egg would have successfully exploded, so.
Yeah, Solo setting up another kill attempt. Really good play by Mag, holding that invis for as long as he can. Solo 5, 2, and 11. And when you play the Night Stalker like this, it just feels broken almost.
Once you're able to get that early start and you just put so much pressure on the map.
They've had no time to really catch their breath, and that's that's the Vega that we know and love, and that's why the first game was so surprising, because how often do you see them pacified in the early and mid game? Usually it's one or the other, and then they'll kind of roll on, but they were never really able to get it going with the type of heroes that they had, and at bottom, Solo's gonna spot out Fly.
You have to come back down to earth eventually. Oh my god, he actually went for the silence first.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
That easily should have been a kill for them.
Well, missing out on the free support kill. C'est la vie, OG. Still very much behind here. Miracle's looking alright though on farm. He's sitting at 9,700. But again, his farm, like just because there's a network disparity between him and the Spectre, it actually doesn't mean anything. The Spectre is going to mean so much more with the 9k that she's going to have once that Radiance is intact.
Yeah, that would have been really good if they were able to get, but no one's now going to go for the Aghanim Scepter. And like you just mentioned, Radiance time is coming, and this is going to be pretty brutal for Team OG as I mean, they've yet to be able to contain Vega 4v5. What happens when it's that white item?
Yeah.
The mischance too is something that we haven't really talked about, but there's no MKBs coming anytime soon on anybody from OG.
Right. I do want to mention something that we didn't talk about, the Maelstrom. There is another reason I think we said that it's particularly good against Winter Wyvern in some regards, because the Cold Embrace is supposed to be a counter to your focus fire.
Yeah, you
but
can just magic.
Yeah, you bring magic damage to the table. It's not all physical, so you can actually still kill that hero via procs.
Yeah, it seems like Fly, most of his concentration has just been on the Winner's Curse, because no one has done such a good job of not just having to isolate one target.
Oh, are they actually going to try and fight this one? The Shackle Shot comes out, latches down Crit. They're going to try and burst him down. They got to get the silence down to make sure Crit can't pop the Supernova. The rest of OG not going to fight around it. It looks like that Spectre makes her debut in with the Radiance. Almost takes out the TPing away Winter Wyvern in just 2 shots, but needed a third to be able to cinch the kill. Mag completing the Guardian Greaves. That now means that Vega Squadron have an incredible amount of team fight. They just want to fight around Roshan. If they get the Aegis as well, it seems like Vega Squadron is going to be unstoppable.
You give it to most likely no one, I think, to continue to allow him to soar ahead, but...
Oh my god, they're actually going to go for this one. No tail. He has his ultimate. He just got the Aegis out there. This is going to be big. Miracle setting up for the ultimate. They need to be able to go for this one. Right in the middle. Winter's Curse onto Noah. Can he actually kill this one? The Splinter Plan's being laid out. Nova on the side. It's going to deal on so much damage. Vega Squadron just falling apart. The damage over time is too much for them to handle. Pasha turning around, throws out the dagger on Miracle, thinking about going for that kill, but doesn't quite have enough HP and wants to make sure he gets out alive. It's going to be Mag who challenges Miracle, but turn around from Moon, make sure that he doesn't get away. 4 heroes down for Vega Squadron. All they lost with the sacrificial no-tail entering into that fight.
Beautifully played by OG. They understand that once they take that fight, it's do or die. If they lose that fight, they give up the Roshan as well, and that probably means the game for them, but that Winner's Curse by Fly, everybody from Vega was grouped up. That was a 4-man Winner's Curse. How frequently do you see that when you've got 0 setup? Definitely a slight misplay by Vega, getting bunched up like that, because they didn't estimate where Fly was in that engagement, and the buyback from Crit as well. Really well done from OG, collapsing on them at once.
It really seemed like that Aghanim's coming in from no tails what gave OG the confidence to really go for that fight. A level 2 Ags Poison Nova. It's 85 damage a second.
And it's not just that, it's just 4-man Curse was everything to them.
Oh yeah.
And you can't give up the Roshan in a position like that. You're already losing if you're OG and you're playing against a Spectre. You have to take an engagement like that. Especially when the Haunt was already used.
Shackle mid. Latching onto Miracle. This could be a free kill with a Focus Fire,
oh,
but...
nobody's even nearby, but he has no idea. The vision game isn't strong enough over into the jungle.
I mean, they just lost such a bad fight in Roshan. You could understand him wanting to play a little bit more passive. If he gets picked off there as well, you're probably talking about the tier 1 tower easily being taken.
Yeah, and Vega had so much control at one point, almost leading at 10k before that Roshan fight. The experience graph was really ugly at that point, but now they're the actual ones playing the aggressors. As they've got the Aegis on Miracle, they want to try to get aggressive with this 10-second BKB.
5-man smoke, not finding anything just yet. OG looking for the pickoff into a tower take, but
I think Vega knows what's going on right now. They're completely split up, and with this 5-man reveal, they're definitely going to know what's going on.
So instead, they'll just quickly backdoor the tier 1.
Call
it a day.
You want to try to bait out that Miracle BKB if you can. Solo's going to get out of this too, unfortunately for OG. They're going to be rejected at that turn as well, but that mid tower is going to help them out a little bit. Gold department notwithstanding, helps you out with getting into the enemy jungle. And they might even catch Mag here.
Mag, he does have Guardian Greaves, he's decently tanky, but turns around, throws out the vacuum, 3-man, but the Surge isn't enough to get him away from that Rocket Barrage, and OG still looking for more. Siom the Slayer backs out into his tier 3, the rest of OG gliding on the tier 2 tower. It's daytime, they have the Aegis, this is the best time for them to force more team fights.
Got the Darkseer available too. That was the crucial pickoff. If it's not the Darkseer, if it's, for example, the Bane, they might even want to take this fight with the Haunt, even with the Aegis, but this down, it's a little bit troublesome, and no one's getting really low right now. I don't know if you want to take this fight
Sioma does respond to the Fiend's Grip, stopping Moon's charge, and turnaround focus fires as the Witcher turns on a Sioma to stop his Fiend's Grip, but no one, he can't continue to go for the kill on Moon because there's a supernova on top of him. The egg's going to be able to explode. No one does get out in time. The power shot almost finishing off Moon, who's now going to charge onto the Spectre, who will be able to get something you want to do. I don't know if he really wants to commit to this. He's slowing down Pasha, but Miracle, he's dropping pretty low. He's going to lose his Aegis now. They still have a lot of damage on Vega Squadron. It looks like they are going to be forced back. Can't really commit for a kill on Miracle unless they dance around him perfectly. They do have the Ult Scepter, setting up now with the Rocket Punch, but now the Void, now the 3-man backing wall, and OG, this is disaster for them as Pasha comes in with the Ion Shell just lawnmowering through OG, and they're going to lose all their heroes. They thought they could be aggressive, but they just step into the Vega Squadron trap.
Man, I really think for a second, if that creep wave didn't spawn right then, they might have been able to get it because the rocket barrage just got completely eaten up by the creeps. That timing just doesn't work out for OG. They try to get way too over-aggressive onto no one, and no one completely outplayed them in that fight. You notice he circled around, he got them to waste the egg. The Winter's Curse was already used on the Bane, so they know that's down the drain. They realize that the only two teamfight abilities that they have at that point are just minor abilities.
33
there.
33 to 14. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster with Vega Squadron. You know, you get on the roller coaster, you have that first big hill you're climbing, that's Vega. Until it's kind of steps sideways with that Roshan. They win the last fight though.
They really don't want to play the lower bracket.
On Moon. Oh, the BKB, TP out. Should be fine because there's just no Fiend's Grip from Sioma just yet.
You can tell that Vega are just playing with desperation. After that last fight, you don't want to be in the lower bracket, especially not like this. When you've got the superior late game lineup, you've been outplaying them at every turn, 33 to 14. And the crazy thing is, you've got to give props to OG. Despite what the score looks like, they've done such a good job in keeping up with net worth.
Yeah, it's very surprising to me. I mean, we're looking at this Vega Squadron where we're getting so many kills, they had such good control, but the fact that they were only up by 7,500, perhaps like 8,500 max at any one point in time in this game, it's a credit to Miracle, I think, mostly, that he's been able to continue keeping up in net worth so much. Especially since he's died so many times as well.
Can you hear that crazy shouting, by the way? Am I going insane?
No, I don't know who that is. It almost sounds like maybe Vega Squadron, knowing their last team here, just like...
They're going insane?
Whooping? I don't know what's going to happen here. It looks like bottom lane and mid lane there could be a fight. Moon's going to be initiated on by the dagger. Does have the charge away. Will be okay because of that one. Actually, he's going to stop it because the rest of OG are coming in. He gets off the ultimate to bump that mag, but he's got to get away from the Spectre now. Cold Embrace will help him out. There's the Supernova to make sure there's no real commitment onto Moon.
Oh, Moon's still going to go down though. And the Supernova's been expended now too, and I think this is going to be a sign for Vega to start pushing things forward as, you know, without that Supernova, it's going to be incredibly hard for OG to fight.
Under attack.
It's going to get real difficult if Mag can actually complete his pipe. He's got a Hooded Defiance now, but if he gets the pipe as well... What is that? Oh, whoa.
That's a full heart and a full axe. They were fighting without either of those items.
Yeah, and if you include the pipe into the next make, their team fight just gets exponentially so much stronger. It's like the Spectre's gonna survive twice as long as he would between the heart and the pipe.
Man, I love you, Kev. I love how you're like talking about the pipe and there's an axe and a heart coming in for the Spectre. It's like, oh, these game-changing items, the pipe. It's like 2 seconds away. It's like the 2 best items in the game for their respective heroes.
That's what you're here for, Blitz.
I was just laughing. That was entertaining.
You catch me when I'm missing something.
It's all good. Alright, Pasha though, level 19 with the heart. They still have ways to kill him though. The Phoenix Sunray, if I remember correctly, is a pretty good option. Because it's pure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty strong. It's a good way to deal with it. And the Venomancer ult is still always the Venomancer ult. But the problem for them right now...
I mean, there is a big upgrade on OG with the MKB coming in. I'm not sure if you mentioned that, but that's obviously a huge increase in damage, most notably against the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, it's going to help. Because you noticed in that last fight, if they had that in the mid engagement, if they were able to kill no one there, they probably just win the game. Or they're, at minimum, they take the mid racks.
Yeah.
But he's been able to outplay them with that win run all day long. OG They're just waiting out that MKB, and they'll probably want to group up again shortly after.
Oh, they're going to go for the charge here, but no one was sitting on the side. He throws out. Beats Grip is going to be able to eliminate.
They're going to pop line.
Quick now. Moon is going to be able to get off the ultimate onto no one. Miracle comes in. He actually wants to come in. The rest of the team is backing the hell out of here. He pops a BKB, trying to go against no one, but he doesn't have the MKB yet, so the wind run is actually functional. No one's trying to get away. Looks like the charge is still going to be able to catch up until the backing stops that one. The supernova explodes on the side. Moon is going to be turned around big time by no one. Meanwhile, Soul's still in the mix of things, trying to slow down OG's retreat. They get the Winter's Curse laid out, but now No-Tail throws out the ultimate. That combos on a Vega Squadron, but it's still not enough. No one's going to be able to come in with the shackle shot, trying to target Miracle as best as possible. The Sunray getting laid out. Crit's going to be dying here soon. Miracle getting saved by the Cold Brains, but it's still not enough. No one is just cleaving through heroes left and right. Triple kill for him, and a double for Pasha. Another wipe to the favor of Vega Squadron.
5 dead. Vega's just going to start marching right down the mid lane. OG, they don't have buybacks on the heroes that they need buybacks on. I think this is where you take the time to discuss, because that team fight, all Vega, they lose their Bane, but that's about it. The type of insight, like you said, completely counters the Venomancer. Everyone's so healthy. With the addition of the Heart, Pasha didn't even really take any damage. They're going to get this mid-rack minimum, and yeah, you've got the MKB, but without a buyback available, no chance in hell that you hold this Rax.
The only thing that may keep OG in this game is that there are still tier 2s up on both of the side lanes, so Vega Squadron can't actually push for more. They're probably going to go back and check out Roshan. That's not up for another 50 seconds, so OG can contest. I think that's probably their last fight, right? He's going into the Roshan pit. If they can't get a good initiation like they did last time around the Roshan pit, with No-Tail going in with the Poison Nova, then it's pretty much lights out for them.
I think part of the problem is that they just haven't been able to get that massive egg off, because most of the time what ends up happening is the Winter's Curse doesn't go off in conjunction with it, so people just run away from it, and then they reset the fight. Phoenix doesn't nearly add as much as, say, the Night Stalker does, who's just running in and out. He's level 17, he's glimmer caping everybody on his team. That's
under attack.
And no one just doesn't die. Like, the positioning of this guy is absurd. We've been talking about the supports all game, but he started 0-2. He's 12-3 now. What a resurgence back into this game. But an MKB is completed now by Miracle.
Oh, Shackle Shot actually latching on the Miracle. They can't afford to lose this hero right away. They get the vacuum into the 3-man wall. Miracle's still going to be in trouble after this Cold Embrace. They get the Cold Embrace. The wig is going to go off. Pasha's going to be stunned up, and Pasha's actually low HP. Samless Lair gets taken out. No G still fighting away, but Miracle runs out of the BKB, and he finally gets taken out. But Pasha is down as well. Crit, he's not going to make it out of here alive, though. It's only Fly and perhaps No-Tail get away, but Fly, he's not going to be making it out either. If Soul can catch him, looks like the Glimmer Cape is enough for him to be able to get out, but No-Tail actually had like 50 HP getting away from that one. It's just the damage, like, yeah, they killed the Spectre, but it was so much damage returned back to OG that none of them were healthy enough to continue the fight afterwards.
The way that you should think about that, though, is what happened in that fight. They got every ability that they wanted to get off. They got the call down, they got the Winter's Curse, and they finally got a sick clutch egg with the Venomancer ult, and they didn't even win the fight. That's the way that you should look at it, not the fact that, oh, that was our best fight, that was 2 for 3. It was everything that could have gone right went right, and we still got dominated in the fight.
And they're still going to lose Roshan. Aegis is going to be given up to no one. And he'll also have a completed Daedalus now.
With this too, this should be the high ground mechanic, or the sign that Vega needed to go for the high ground. You've almost got the Manta style completed on the Spectre as well.
They lose one, but hey, the Gyrocopter's down, so is the rest of the team from OG, and now it's just going to be left buybacks from Miracle and the Phoenix. Fortunately, Vega Squadron are low enough that they won't be able to continue with the push, but it's still not going to be a win for OG as Pasha just waits out a little bit of his heart heal and goes back in.
Yeah, they know that the egg is down, the call down is going to be here, but look at how strong Pasha is at this point. Is this really who you want to fight? Mag's going to go for the vacuum, gets both of them, and this is going to be Miracle down. The Sunray isn't quite enough, and look how quickly he dies.
3 different diebacks, and that's the end. OG, they'll lose game number 2. The series is now tied up 1-1. It all comes to a last game 3 to determine who's going to be going down into that lower bracket and who's staying in the upper bracket.
The crazy thing is if you completely ignore the score, this game was a lot closer than this score suggests. Like 51-19, you would think this was over 30 minutes ago, but credit to OG, they kept it close for near the entirety of the game.